Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. This will be part 3 of my Saiga 762 conversion, and this particular episode is going to be DuraCoating. So again, here is where I left off in the last part, and what I want to do is to tape off all the things I don't want to paint. Show you here that I have some of this blue tape. The blue tape is like a painter's tape that you use for, taping off things before you spray paint or paint. And I am going to carefully put this wherever I don't want paint. So, it's good to do this and to take your time and do it right, because the better you prepare everything, the better everything's going to come out. Okay, now I want to point out that I feel it's a very good idea to make sure that you have tape over where your gas tube goes in, because you definitely don't want any paint to get down in there. And also make sure that you get here in the chamber cover, because you definitely don't want any paint getting in there. So really I don't mind if a little bit of overspray gets in here, as long as I keep these rails here clean. I could always get that off, because I want to sort of get the top here, and I don't mind if this mounting bracket either. Again, I could always work that back off, but the whole reason why we're doing this is because the bottom, after we remove that plate, you can see it's not painted, so it looks kind of dorky. And if you just, some people will just spray the bottom, and unless you match it perfect, it's not going to look good. Okay, I'm down in my garage, and let me show you my setup here. I have a compressor, I have a condensation trap or special trap on here so I don't get any moisture in the line, and another regulator to make sure that the air pressure is right. I'll go with about 30 psi. I have a airbrush, so you sort of press down to get the air going, and then you pull back. Got it backwards, and you pull back to allow the paint to flow. So this is a pretty good airbrush. This is a Badger 155 Anthem, made in the USA. So I'm going to go with that. And then I got to put this little canister underneath here, and I got to mix a 4-to-1 ratio of DuraCoat. So 4 of these to 1 of these, whatever ounces. I'll probably go ounces. 4 ounces to 1 ounce of hardener. And the way that I'm going to pull it out of the product's container and get it into the airbrush's container is to use a syringe. I found these at the drugstore. You can see it's Walgreens. Actually, I haven't started even mixing anything up yet. I did get 2 syringes, so I'm going to have one for hardener, one for the paint, so I don't have to worry about getting both in the same one. Keep them separate. Also, things I'm going to be painting is the safety, and I put it on the string so I can hang it up to dry when it's all done. And I have the receiver here, everything taped off. Again, a rope so I can tie it up to dry. And those are the things I'm going to be painting. I went ahead and degreased everything with a degreaser. I used a Powder Blast by Break Free. They say you could use brake cleaner even, or you could use DuraCoat's product to clean. But I'm going to try this, and if it works, then it works, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I also have some paint thinner to clean up everything once everything is done, and also if this is too thick, I can use it to thin things out. I lied again. I'm not ready to start spray painting. I decided, let me look over the instructions really quick on the bottle, and it says shake for 3 minutes. So I'm going to be shaking for 3 minutes, then I'll have it all mixed up in the bottle, ready to go. But I wanted to make sure you knew about the shaking part. You really got to read the instructions to these things good. You know what? It says the ratio is 12 to 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do for real 12 to 1. And now we'll do a 1 milliliter of the hardener. It doesn't say to shake the hardener, but you know what? I don't think you can. It's kind of thick. But I'll go ahead and do that. Let me close the paint. It's all about learning and reading instructions. For the low upheat, read the instructions. Alright, let me see if I can get 1 milliliter out of this thing. Alright. Stuff is pretty thick. And alright. This thing doesn't go down deep enough to get it. There we go. Tell you one thing, I'm not going to be a doctor. Alright. I'll close this up. I guess we should mix it up really good. Oh boy. And he gets paint all over his hand and all over everything, so hold on, I'll be back. Alright, another lessons learned is once you get it into these bottles, there's a hole in the cap, so if you're going to shake it, make sure you cover the hole, I guess, so it can get suction air in as it's pulling paint out, or it wouldn't be able to, it would create a vacuum and it wouldn't be able to suck the paint. So make sure you cover that hole. God, I'm an idiot. But you know what? I'll make the mistakes here so you don't have to make them. Now we'll go ahead and attach it to the spray painter. Just like that, I think. And now I should be ready to go. So, that's pretty neat. I'm getting some. Not bad. And again, I am not a professional and don't claim to be one. I'm going to start with nice thin coats. It's coming along good. Do the bottom here. And I got a problem. Okay, this is like the video of everything that can go wrong will go wrong. So the bottle fell off the painter. Oh boy. Well, you know, this is real life. I'll tell you, man, I don't think any more could go wrong, but there we go. Here's the bottom. You can see it's black. What happened was I put so much on it that it started to bubble, so I put too thick a coat, so I had to make sure I didn't pull back as far and release so much paint at once. So I went ahead and eased up, and it's much better now. So go easy on the paint. Just put thin coats a little bit at a time. Take your time, and it'll turn out alright. Okay, just not to be redundant, I went ahead and spray painted the dust cover also. I put it on this little metal thing that my wife had hanging around, so that could dry on there. Okay, well that's my cheesy DuraCoat episode. Let me tell you, that was a learning experience. Just about everything that could go wrong went wrong, you know, but That's the first time I DuraCoated. It's a learning experience, you know, things like make sure the bottle's on the freaking airbrush tight enough. Go with very easy thin coats. Don't overspray because you'll, you know, just like any old spray paint, you put it on too heavy, you're going to get runs and bubbles and all kinds of things. But with all that considered, everything turned out pretty good. It's actually feels dry to the touch already, so pretty amazing. Again, I'd like to reiterate that it's a 12-to-1 ratio. I know I said 4-to-1 once or twice. I screwed up. Luckily, I tend to read things a couple of times before I do them, and the instructions say 12-to-1. So, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel for part 3 of the Saiga to AK-47 conversion. Thank you very much, friends, viewers, and subscribers. I really appreciate you all coming back, hanging in with me, supporting me, and I hope you have a great day or a great weekend.